Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Alligator Pond resident found dead in river days after issuing warning about its hazards. Police in Manchester are proving the death of a man who residents suspect drowned in a section of the river in Alligator Pond over the weekend. The man, who has been identified as Wayne Watson, 34, spoke with reporters last week following a suspected case of drowning in Alligator Pond. Residents told reporters that Watson was last seen on Friday afternoon leaving a construction site to swim in a section of the community known as Alligator in Compound. His family raised an alarm after he did not return home. A search was then conducted of the area. His body was found in the river's mangrove on Sunday afternoon. Watson, a fisherman for 17 years in the community, explained last week that the Alligator Pond beach, downstream from where he was found, has a sea and a river. He said local want visitors to use the river for recreational, like swimming, but not to venture into the sea. This sea, when it comes to this time, it takes a lot of lives, and we don't want anyone else to lose their life, not because a lot of people are now on the beach, he said. We tell the people to be careful how they go into the sea because it can be very rough, Watson then told the news team last weekend. He added, the water can be deep more time, and when you talk to people, they're still not listening. Don't follow others like we locals, we can swim. Woman killed in gun attack in St. Catherine. A 46-year-old woman was shot dead in a brazen daylight attack in Old Harbour, St. Catherine on Monday afternoon. The victim has been identified as Nadette Thomas, a resident of the community. It is reported that around 2:35 p.m., residents heard loud explosions and summoned the authorities. Upon arrival, police saw Thomas' body lying on his left side with gunshot wounds to the head and upper body. Thomas was taken to the Spinestone Hospital where she was pronounced dead. The body was later moved to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. Police say they have not yet established a motive for the killing, nor have they identified any suspects. The Old Harbour police are investigating. God alone could have saved us, Gregory Park resident recounts horror gun and arson attack. Sushana Francis was at home with her 2 children and her brother on Workers Avenue in Gregory Park on Saturday morning when shots rang out and fire began blazing. The community was under a gun and arson attack which left 1 man dead, 1 woman nursing severe burns, and some 45 people including 18 children homeless. God alone could have saved us. When the shutter burst and fire blaze, Francis told Prime Minister Unto Holness as he toured the area on Monday, along with Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson and Member of Parliament Alonzo Terrelong. A tearful Francis recounted the horror of the morning and its uncomfortable aftermath. One whole heap of them criminals come down on us. My little baby had to run behind the mattress to hide from fire, Francis said. I have to now be living like a waste. I have to be walking and begging my family for clothes, she continued. A lot of women and children are homeless. The horrific incident reportedly began to unfold about 3:50 a.m. A 28-year-old taxi driver from the community, Ranil Hartner, also called Rum Punch, and a friend were sitting on a car on Walker's Avenue when shots rang out. They ran in a bid to escape, during which Hartner sustained gunshot wounds to his upper body and right arm and collapsed. A group of men armed with rifles and handguns then made their ways to the homes where residents were sleeping. They reportedly threw gas oil on the houses, then set them ablaze and opened gunfire, which awaited the occupants of the households. While the occupants were escaping from the burning building, they were fired on by gunmen and forced to retreat inside the burning houses, resulting in 1 woman sustaining burns all over her body. The shooters then escaped in the area on foot. The police were summoned and Hartner and the woman were taken to Spinestone Hospital, where Hartner was pronounced dead on arrival, while the woman was admitted in serious condition. A 48-hour curfew has since been imposed in the section of Gregory Park, while the St. Catherine South police have listed 13 individuals as persons of interest in connection to the violence in the community. The names of the persons of interest are Ian Watson, otherwise called Scaly, Shane Williams, otherwise called Gaza Tissan, a man known only as Teacher, a man known only as Venom, a man known only as Birch, Odin Folder, otherwise called Pakchow, Ryan Muir, otherwise called Titty Man, a man known only as Ninja McCarthy, a man known only as Sugar, Michael Tracy, otherwise called Ears, a man known only as Maverick, a man known only as Boo, and a man known only as Pickpocket. The St. Catherine South Police said they are working tirelessly to ensure that these events are brought to an end.
We were in touch with the team from over here from the St. Catherine South Division and pushed additional assets into the space, both from us, from other police formations, but also from the Jamaica Defence Force. So that has been holding since. We have been after the people who did this, and we understand that in among the people were not just men who came over, but also women who are willing to come over and burn out other women and children. But that's indicative of the sort of threat that we have been facing as a police force, and we will continue to do so. We're up to the task. We will go and find these people. We already engaged some of them this morning. They managed to escape, but we will be on them. We have identified a number of them, and we'll be following up on that. Some wanted persons will be put out on Wednesday. A series of wanted persons who are involved in exactly what happened here. This is, as the Member of Parliament said, this is an act of terror, and I don't know how else one could describe this. And the fear in the people here is palpable, but it doesn't just stop here. It extends beyond here, because if people can be in the country, in Jamaica, and being burnt out of their homes like this, then this is something that we can only address in the most forceful fashion to recover the space and ensure that the rule of law obtains everywhere in Jamaica, and especially here. So the people here, I can rest assured that we will remain as long as the threat is there, and beyond that we will be after the threat to carry them before the courts, and that justice will be served in this matter.
Mourners ditch cars opted to carry caskets amid heavy downpour of rain in St. Catherine. A heavy downpour on Sunday forced several groups of mourners en route to Meadows Memorial Gardens in St. Catherine to abandon their cars as they sought to comply with local laws as it relates to burial. At approximately 5 p.m., at least 3 separate groups of mourners were observed walking along Red Pond Road with caskets. The heavy downpour of rain resulted in severe traffic congestion in the area, forcing some drivers, including those of hearses, to abandon their vehicles along the road. Explaining the bizarre display of several men walking with caskets atop their heads, family members noted that it was a race against time to lay rest their deceased loved ones at the burial grounds, as under Jamaica law, burials must be done by 6 p.m. or it will have to be moved to another day. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell